Today I want to talk about 10 5-minute habits that can boost your mental health today. These can come handy in situations where you maybe don't have a lot of time, like at work if you only have 10-15 minutes in between one task and the next, or even if you work from home, if you've just had a long day of just sitting at the desk without doing anything for yourself, or when you're so busy that you could tell you could really use some self-care but you just can't afford to take the time for it, or when you just notice yourself getting groggy and you need a quick little pick-me-up. Without further ado, here they are 10 5-minute habits to boost your mental health starting today. Number 1 is a gratitude practice. Challenge yourself to write 10 items for which you're grateful every single day. I do this as a part of my journaling practice, which is present in A Season of Life. There are also gratitude exercises that I have as part of the personal growth journal as well. But the general gist of it is pretty simple. If you can't afford anything fancy or a journaling workbook, just challenge yourself to, in those 5 minutes, write 10 things for which you feel grateful. It forces you to move into the mindset of how good things are going, even in times when it feels like things are actually going very poorly. These could be items such as basic necessities that you have met, like a roof over your head, clean water, produce in the fridge. It could be things that others have actually done for you, like acts of service, gifts, moments of affection, words of tenderness. It could be exciting things happening in your life or anticipating future events that you're excited for. It could be something exciting that you did the day before, something that you really appreciated that you did yesterday. Or it could be a lot more high order things like, oh, I really appreciate that I have this specific passion in life, because I know not everyone has something that they're so sure of. So if you have 5 minutes, just jot down 10 things for which you're grateful. Number 2, taking a cold shower. Now, every time I give this advice, I always preface it with, you should ask your specific physician if this is right for you, because there are some people for whom maybe this is not as good of an idea. For me, cold showers and cold plunges are immensely helpful, and it really just feels like a reset of my mental health. My mind feels clear all of a sudden. I feel like I can focus better. My mood is higher. I feel less anxious, less down. When I used to go to the cold plunge back in Seattle, I used to literally feel euphoric afterwards, especially if it was sunny afterwards and I would step outside after going to the cold plunge. My mind was rebooted somehow. And so especially now in the summer, if you're hot where you live, just turning your shower cold for at least the last 30 seconds to 60 seconds can be a really simple way to boost your mental health. Habit number 3 is reading. In case it's not obvious, books are one of the most important things to me. As a lover of books and as a fiction author myself, books mean the world. And as of today, when I'm recording this, which is July 19th, I've read 59 books this year so far. My goal is 70, but I'm expected to reach higher than that. So it shouldn't be a surprise that one of the habits I recommend for boosting mental health is reading. But I understand that not everyone has literally crafted their entire life around reading like I have. And this is where the sponsor of today's video comes in, Blinkist. Blinkist gives actionable summaries to over 6,500 nonfiction books and podcasts. And you can do it all in under 15 minutes. You can either read the summaries or you can listen to them, whatever you prefer to use as your learning method. For me personally, I like to see the words. It helps me visualize them, but I know other people are really into like audiobooks and audio learning. Now, reading book summaries or books in general is a really efficient way of broadening your horizons and learning something new. Instead of doom scrolling, you can replace doom scrolling with something called micro learning, taking these 5 to 15 minute breaks. Because when you learn, you're not only practicing the mental muscles that are required to keep your brain alive and healthy for longer, you're also gaining topics for conversation with people and gaining self-fulfillment. 80% of Blinkist users say it's replaced doom scrolling for them. 82% self-identify as self-optimizers. I know I certainly do. 80% say that Blinkist has made positive changes to their life. 90% say it's broadened their horizons. 70% say they've used it to wow others in conversation, and 65% find it essential for their career. So recently I moved and I discovered a book that I wasn't sure whether it was mine or my husband's. It's called Flow, and I was really curious about it it. So I put it in my bookshelf because I want to read it sometime soon. And when I looked it up on Blinkist, I was able to read the author's bio, which showed to me that this is somebody who's legitimate, who has the right to write about what he's writing about. And they also broke down key lessons into bite-sized chunks. A key point that you could read in maybe 5 minutes when you have 5 minutes in your day. Then they also give a final summary. And doing this helped me realize that I actually want to bump this book to the top of my TBR list, my to be read list, because it genuinely seems like a good book. And one thing that I learned from it is that I actually did a good thing when I replaced my evening TV watching with reading. That was something that Flo talked about, that passively watching TV can be harmful to a state of flow. So get 40% off Blinkist Premium Annual by using my link or the QR code on screen. Thank you so much to Blinkist. Don't forget to check them out. Habit number 4 that could really help you if you just have 5 minutes. Text someone that you care about. Again, this is something so simple. You don't have to go into a long, deep conversation, but literally just sending somebody positive thoughts, letting them know that you thought of them can be a very quick way to boost connection, strengthen the relationship, feel less alone, and feel more supported if you're in need of support. Whether it's a family member, a friend, or just somebody that you would like to get to know better, assuming you're not just like blowing up their phone constantly and it annoys them, strengthening those relationships can be so simple and so positive. Habit number 5 is taking up some sort of mindfulness meditation practice or just deep breathing. Now, I could definitely be better about this, but sometimes when I feel overwhelmed or I have some extra time, something that I will do is I will literally just sit or lie down and just pay attention to my thoughts and my sensations, my inner physical sensations. I don't try to do anything fancy. I don't necessarily pull up like a guided meditation audio. I don't try to do any specific breathing exercise. I just pay attention to what's going on. I pay attention to my breath. I pay attention to my thoughts. I don't try to get rid of my thoughts. I don't try to manipulate my breath at all. It's just a moment of mindfulness, of just existing and letting yourself exist as you are. Can help you slow down in moments when you feel like you're going way too fast. Habit number 6 is petting your pet. This is, again, so simple. If you have a pet, a dog, a cat, whatever it is, just walk up to them and pet them for 5 minutes. They'll appreciate it, you'll appreciate it, it'll strengthen the relationship, it'll make their life better, and it will actually make your life better as well, because physical touch from somebody or something that you love can boost oxytocin, which is a happy chemical that makes you feel more love and connection and happiness. Habit number 7. If you don't have a pet or you don't have somebody to actually hug and pet, just imagining a hug for 30 seconds can accomplish a similar amount of oxytocin release. And this is because, again, our brain does not distinguish between what's real and what's not real. So simply visualizing that act of affection is often enough to trigger the same mental responses as actually eliciting a hug from somebody. When you're trying to do this, like I said, do it for at least 30 seconds. Obviously, the longer the better, and close your eyes, visualize it vividly using all 5 senses. Imagine a specific target object of your hug who is somebody that makes you feel safe and loved. Habit number 8 is to stretch your body in whatever way feels good. It could be doing a forward lunge, it could be doing the full-on splits, it could be just leaning against your wall to stretch your hamstrings, whatever your body intuitively is telling you that it needs. If you can just take 5 minutes to do that, it not only gets you in the habit of moving throughout the day, but it also will help your mental health. Habit number 9 is taking 5 minutes to tidy up a little bit. This can be helpful because a lot of people don't have the time to do like a huge deep clean every week. Although this is something that I try to do, it is much more efficient and less overwhelming to just take 5 minutes here and there to clean up. If you have 5 minutes after you've just used the restroom, for instance, and you can just tidy up the counters, or if you have 5 minutes after you've just finished work for the day and you can stack your different books in different places, if you have 5 minutes to pick up clothes off the floor and just put them in a hamper, you will notice that your life becomes easier throughout the week. You're taking 5 minutes now to feel better later. And habit number 10 is to just step outside and stare into the far distance for a while. Now, I am a very myopic person. I'm very nearsighted. And so I'm supposed to stare at the distance to help practice the eye muscles contracting in that specific way. I could be better about this. But when you step outside and you look into the distance, you not only get the benefits of staring into the distance, because so many of us look at screens so up close, you also get the benefits of listening to the sounds of nature, viewing the sights of nature, hearing birds, bodies of water, green spaces. All of these are scientifically shown to have a positive impact on our mental health. So if you have 5 minutes, just take a step outside and look as far away as you possibly can. What do you think of these tips? And do you have any 5-minute habits of your own that you found helpful for your mental health? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out Blinkist. Thank you so much to Blinkist for sponsoring a portion of today's video.